Hi, Haley.
Hey.
So it's been a bit since I've seen you last. How have you
Yeah.
been?
I want to apologize for missing our last couple sessions. Things have not been great. Things have not been fantastic.
Do you want to?
Yeah. I I've been drinking again for like 5 or 6 weeks. Um and yeah, like honestly I didn't even know if I was gonna actually show up for today's session or not. Like I just don't know where my head is at right now, but I figured I would try and show up for today's session and maybe try and get things back on track, but I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you're here. And you don't have to apologize for missing sessions. Like, I think that's a part of recovery, right? Like, we've talked about that. Relapse can be part of that cycle. And yeah, coming back is good. Um, what was going on when you decided to take that first drink?
Um well, I know in like the last session that we did have, I was talking a little bit about how things have been stressful at work recently. We've been like short staffed. The bosses are stressed out. Everybody's got like more work than they can actually do. And so like that had been continuing. And there was one day, I want to say maybe like a week after the last session that we actually had, where like shit just like completely hit the fan at work. Like our manager was completely pissed, like screaming at everybody about deadlines that had not been met. And I don't know, like something just like went in my head, and I left work that day and I was driving home, and there's the LCBO like that's right on my route home. And I don't know, like every day before that I'd driven by and it was not even a thing. I was like, that's not part of my life anymore. I drive by, but that day I was just, something changed, and I was like, you know what, screw it. Like I'm going to go and I'm going to get a bottle of wine. Like this day was just completely a disaster. I've been doing so well for so long, like I deserve to have a day. But then it was not just a day is the thing.
I think I think that's normal and completely understandable to feel like that, like you deserve a break. Recovery is hard work. It's utilizing a lot of coping mechanisms that take a lot longer, are a lot harder, but less hard on us in the long run. Um, can I ask when the last time was that you took some time off?
Oh, honestly, since I started this job, like other than my usual weekends, like I really have not taken time off that I can think of. Like I think I've taken a couple half days for appointments and stuff, but yeah, like because back when I first initially went into treatment, I wasn't working at all, and then things got better and I felt like things were stable. And so, then when this job came up, I was like, okay, I can do that. And then I guess I've just been like, just like pushing through since then. So, yeah, like I hadn't really thought about it, but I have not, I guess, taken time off.
Okay. Um, so with your manager having meltdowns, another question: how often does this happen?
I mean, like the day that it happened when I started drinking again, that was like the only time that it's happened that badly. Um, but it's been just kind of like a mounting thing for the last, like, I want to say 2 months, because it's been like maybe 3 months or so since we had a full staff team. And so then after like a month of that, people started to get like stressed out and antsy, and then it's just kind of been building up since then. Like the small little confrontations have gotten bigger and bigger and more blow up like.
Okay. So is there just I'm thinking, so I'm wondering if perhaps this is like a result of build up stress, maybe both with yourself and at your workplace, because it may be a communal thing. I don't know what's going on, but if there are a lot of deadlines and that kind of thing, perhaps the environment can add to it as well.
Yeah.
But if you don't take some time for yourself, and like when you feel that kind of stress begin to build up, it keeps building up, right? It's like a valve that needs to be released at some point.
Well, and
So,
that's like what it felt like the day that I went to the LCBO after work and started drinking again. Like it felt like it was a valve that was just like had like popped in my brain. So like I think it probably is. I think it probably is related to the work stuff. And like that's all that I've been really focused on at all recently. Like I have my appointments with you up until a month and a half ago, when I kind of went off the radar. But other than that and work, like that's basically all I do. And yeah, I guess I kind of lost track of what that was like doing for me internally, and like how that was building up, because I just wanted to make a good impression. And like I hadn't worked for a while before this job, so like I want this one to be good so that I can like build up from here. And now I'm like asking myself, like, do I need to like go to my boss and say, hey, guess what, I never told you this, but A, I have a drinking problem, and B, now I've had a relapse and I need to like take time off, with like already being short staffed. And I just like, yeah, like, after it had been like maybe like 5 or 6 days where I had drank every day after that first day, I thought to myself, I was like, maybe like, do I need to like go to detox again or something? Because, one day did not turn into just one day. But then I just started thinking about, yeah, that like the idea of having to actually like go and talk to my boss and like explain the situation. And that just didn't seem possible.
I hear you. So, Haley, the thing is, like, you as anybody does have every right to take time off, and it's up to you who you feel safe disclosing your substance use with. I mean, I if you feel like it, I think maybe it might be a good idea to take some time off. Even if you have to plan it, sometimes even just knowing that it's going to be coming can help alleviate some stress in the meantime, because that you've got some time. Use your vacation. You could go on medical leave and you don't have to specify why, because it's nobody's business but your own, and your employers don't have the right to ask that information of you either. But yeah, like, so I think that the idea of taking time off, if you need to go to detox, that's great. But I'm thinking maybe strategizing for the future. Like, what are some like activities and like hobbies that you found in the past that have been helpful for you, that could help you decompress on a regular basis?
I mean, before I started working at this job, I did a lot of like crocheting, like fiber arts. That was something that I was really into, and I have not really done that since I have had this job. I don't think I've read a book since I've had this job. you know, I love reading, but I don't think I've sat down and read a book, and like that always makes me feel good. I have still been like getting outside somewhat, like not as often as I used to, but I do notice that I feel better like on the days that I do make that happen. So like that one I think would probably be the easiest to like increase now.
Okay. But they're good goals to have, right? Like you could
Yeah.
even maybe like write them down. Like sometimes like it helps me to have it written down just so that I can visualize and like look at it and instead of just thinking about it. But you know,
Yeah.
you like crocheting, you like reading and like going for walks. So yeah, like maybe you start with a goal of like trying to go for a walk like at least once or twice a week and then maybe in a couple months you pick up some yarn and some crochet supplies and, go from there. Do you think you can look into booking time off too? Is that something you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, I mean it makes me feel anxious to think about, but I hadn't really thought about the idea of like doing it in a way that lets me like not give the details to like my manager specifically. Um so that kind of got the wheels turning for me a little bit. Like would that, because I've never taken like a medical leave before. I've only ever taken like unpaid leaves from work. So is that you just like go to your doctor and like have them like write you something, or like how does that work?
You could, yes. And, doctors are just as aware of your confidentiality as, counselors and social workers and all of us are. Um, that would be, so that's something, I'm not going to ever tell you what to do, Haley, but if you feel like you urgently need time off, that may be the easiest way to get it is you go see your family doctor as soon as possible, or you book a telehealth appointment, which you can do like online and get one within a couple hours typically. And get and doctor's note emailed to you. It's typically a fee of about $20. I can email you some resources after this. And if you are interested in going to detox for a few days to reset, we can make that happen as well. Like we can do it together. And
Yeah,
that's okay.
because I mean like that was the first thing that I thought of when it like really like set in to me that like this was not just a one-off one day thing, was like like I should just bite the bullet and go back to detox now. And then it's just been like I've been so caught up in thinking about like well work and what will happen, and so I hadn't really let myself like think about it as a real option, but like it was the first thing that I thought of. So yeah, like if I think about what I actually want and what I actually think would be best, like that is what I think would be best and would actually like do something. Because like the past week, like because I knew that we had this appointment and I was like waffling back and forth about whether I was gonna actually show up for the appointment. And so I like the past week there have been a few days where I have like had the intention of like okay, today's going to be the day. I'm not going to buy the bottle of wine, like, and so then when I get to my appointment I can say that yeah, I had a relapse, but I'm back on track and everything's cool. But like it just hasn't happened. Like every day I've been back down the street at the LCBO, like same bottle of wine. I don't even want to think about like what the cashiers like. I'm sure they recognize me. Like it's a whole, I don't know. So yeah, like detox, I think is like what needs to happen. So I just need to figure out the whole, like time and work situation to actually allow that to happen.
Well, I'm gonna assist and how I can. And I think a good place for us to start is when we finish our session, let me send you, I'll do it right away, like within, 5 minutes of us being done. I can email you over some resources so you can book a virtual appointment, and then you can get it done quickly. You get your note. I'll make sure that I send you to somewhere that I have gotten feedback from other clients from, so I know that they're kind and good about confidentiality. You're not going to deal with the stigmatizing attitude.
Yeah.
Just explain your situation. While you're doing that, I can put in a referral for you for detox and have them call you. And then you can do the phone screen. And then as soon as they have a bed, you can go in. And all you need to do, I can explain to them the situation with your work and the privacy issue. Because, Haley, it's your recovery and relapse is part of it. So, you have every right to keep it to yourself. But yeah, all you need to do then is bring the note to your work, and you have, written documented proof that you need a leave of medical absence.
Yeah.
And you do not have to specify why, and you can be very kind and warm about it and return when you are well.
It, I almost want to cry, just thinking about that, because yeah, that's what that is what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
Okay. Well,
okay,
let's do that. We can end this now, and you can still have video or phone appointments with me while you're in detox if you want them. But if you also just want some space, that is totally fine. But let's get this referral process started. I'll connect you with those resources, and I'll give you a call tomorrow at 2 p.m. and I will let you know what's going on with the detox. If you get in really quick or something, before we talk, like before your shift, just shoot me an email or I'm sure they'll communicate it.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
I appreciate your help with this. I feel so embarrassed about this whole situation and that I let it go on for so long. But I appreciate you helping me with this.
Trying to be a little bit kinder to yourself. I don't think you have anything to be embarrassed about, but I get it. I get why you would feel that way.
Okay.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. I'll keep an eye out for the email with the link for the virtual doctor thing.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.